How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to make a video on how to become a millionaire on a low salary. And the reason for that is we talk about crypto a lot on the channel because I think there's going to be high alpha. I think cryptocurrency is going to do well. But the majority of people that invest in crypto want to invest in it just because they want to become wealthy over time. If there's more money in something else like stocks or real estate, we would go there. So that's why we're going to get down to the heart of it. How can you actually become a millionaire if you're not making a ton of money? And we're not going to say, go invest everything into Bitcoin or anything like that. I just want to break down the numbers and show you how much you actually have to invest, what you can actually control, because there are only three real things you can control to make yourself more money, which we'll talk about. Now, if you don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I appreciate that. While you're down there, there is a welcome gift. I'm working with Moomoo. They'll give you up to 10 free stocks when you sign up with the link underneath the video. Ton of free money that you can make, a ton of free stocks. Of course, definitely use that link so you can start getting those stocks. And let's get into it. So the median income here in the US is $54,000 a year. That's a pretty good amount. I know that's more than what I was making at my last job. And for a lot of people, that seems like that might be out of reach. So we're not going to say even that you make $54,000 a year. We're going to assume that you make $35,000. I think most people can make $35,000 if they just go to the right job in their hometown. I think McDonald's pays $15 an hour. There are other service jobs that can pay even more than that. So we're going to assume that you make $35,000 a year. And of course, we're going to have to make some assumptions. So let's say you buy something like VOO. You just buy an index fund, something that is not going to give you the best returns, but is consistent. Let's say you're pretty young too. Let's say you're 30, right? You could have started earlier, but we'll say 30, and you want to go to 65. That'd be 35 years at 7%. And you're not going to be able to invest that much if you make $35,000 a year. And we're going to have to assume that you put in 10% at this point, because you can't put in $10 a year and then expect to become a millionaire over time. So that'd be $3,500. Now, this is where most people would stop. Actually, a lot of people haven't even done this. If you do this over 35 years, you actually come away with nearly $500,000. But if you're able to do this in a company 401k, let's say you invest 10%, you're probably not going to get a full match on that 10%. But if you got a 100% match up to 5%, that would give you another 50% more to be able to invest. That gets you up to $725,000. Now, that's not exactly where you need to go. You need to make more than that. Now, there are three different things that you can actually control, and that's going to be how you get up to $1 million. You can make way more than $1 million as well. Now, I do want to say I did a video recently talking about how you can make passive income, actually. I called it the real life money cheat code, and you can make a large amount of passive income on a smaller portfolio. It's a very in-depth video, 38 minutes. I would highly suggest watching that. I'll put it on the end screen, but let's get back to how you can actually make more than the $725,000. So there are three different things you can control or that can make you more money. First of all, how long are you investing for? Obviously, if you're able to invest over a longer time span, your compounding will take more and more effect. Of course, it is due in part to the market as well, just how the market moves up and down, because it's not a steady 7% a year. Sometimes it's 20%, sometimes it's 0%, sometimes it's negative. So if you lengthen this out, let's say you started at 20 and instead of going to 65, you even just went to 60. That would be another 5 years. That would bring you over that $1 million. Another thing you can control is the rate of return. Now, this is a little bit harder if you invest in areas that yield a better percentage, obviously, or a better return on investment. You're going to exponentially grow your wealth. Let's say you could just get 1% more. Maybe you do some real estate, or maybe you invest into a little bit of crypto or something like that. That drastically changes how much you'll be able to make over 40 years. That's another 30%, 1.36 million. The other thing that's most important, if you are on a low salary, a lot of people don't want to hear this, but the fact is the easiest way and probably the best way to set yourself up financially is to figure out some way to make more money. Whether it's a side job, I used to go and set up bank accounts and get bonuses because you can do that. I made a couple $1,000s a year doing that. You can start up affiliate marketing. You can just job hop, go to somewhere that pays you more money. Even if it's like a waiter or waitress job or a bartending job, you can make a lot of money if you're in the right area doing that. So that's going to be probably the most important thing, because That is what you can control more than how long you can accumulate, and then also the rate of return, because you can't change your age, and also you don't know necessarily where investments are going to go in the future. You might think that you have the next best stock, but it might go down to zero. So the amount that you contribute is the most important thing. Let's say you were able to get a 10% raise or 20% raise. Let's say instead of making 35 grand, actually you're making 45 grand. And then you still invested that original 10%. So you invested $3,500 plus 10 grand. That'd be 13,500. And let's even go back. Let's take a look at this. $3.5 million over 40 years. Even if you went back to only 7% and you accumulated for 35 years, you started at 35, you'd still have almost $2 million. So those are the three things you can control. Obviously, the amount of money that you make is probably the most daunting thing, but that's also the thing that can make a huge difference in how much you actually make over time. Now, in my last video that I was talking about, again, I gave the real life money cheat code. You can get a higher return than 7% using this strategy. There are risks and rewards to it, but I am using this as well now. So I would highly suggest watching that on the end screen and getting those free stocks underneath the video. Definitely hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.